Well, hello there, partner. Go on and hang up your hat, grab yourself a whiskey, and pull up in the easy chair. We're coming off the range of 9 to 5s with a whole herd of news stories that we've been steaming over like a cow patty in the Texas heat. As they say, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And we're here to ruffle some feathers and ensure accountability ain't just a concept, it's reality. It's that time where the day's drama casts its longest shadow. So let's light a candle to the chaos of current events, the whirlwind of politics, and the tangled webs of corruption that we find ourselves entwined by. It's time to ramble our way into the twilight. Welcome to Sunset Rants.
Hello there.
Well, hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, bud?
Not too bad. Hey, question. How's my visuals coming out right now?
You look a little blurry.
Do I?
Yeah,
Like,
just a
blurry
little
or
bit.
fuzzy?
Just a little fuzzy.
Me. All right, maybe that'll do it. So, welcome to a Thursday edition. We got a lot on the table to unpack. Fortunately, not some good stuff, but also some cool stuff on the back end, so that'll be good. How's your day today?
Not too bad. Just class and class.
class, more class. Well, that's good though, at least. So
yeah, getting it done.
happy. So so tell us about yourself. Get it off for the new people here. Welcome. Very happy to have you. We are Sunset Rants, part of Rise of Middle America. Catch you up and up to speed on all the news for the day. Like I said, we got some pretty devastating news for today, unfortunately. But we got some other stuff that might not be so bad. Catch you up to speed. First time here again, welcome. You've been here. Super happy to have you back. The top of the screen right there. Is it the same for you, for me? Right there?
I think so.
You got the QR code there. Brings it right to our site. Rise of Middle America. Hey, yo. RiseOfMiddleAmerica.com. You see all our beautiful faces, all the episodes we've done. Also, join our community, fastest growing community for what we do on X. Got a huge, awesome gang with us at the top of it. So you'll definitely have a lot of fun interacting with us. Dee, where can we find you?
So you could find me on X and only X at Cynical Latina. And I just I like to hang out and chit chat and troll a little bit. It's so much fun. So yeah, you can find me there. Follow, comment on my stuff. I comment back.
Perfect.
It's a good time.
Awesome. Yeah, AP2 Tay will be mine for X. It's my handle on everything. But let's get started.
Let's go.
This is never a fun thing to cover. I'm sure you've heard about this. What's going on today?
Yes.
So for those of you who aren't in the know, once this pops up, we had a shooting at FSU today. Let's see, this was released a couple hours ago, not too far behind, but 2 dead, 6 injured, 20-year-old suspect in custody. Yeah, it was wild. I get into this. Sheriff's deputy allegedly opened fire near Student Union at Florida State University Thursday, killing 2 people, injuring 6 others. Authorities said the suspect, 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, current FSC student, was shot by responders and has been hospitalized, police said. He was taken in custody with non-life-threatening injuries. Multiple law enforcement officials told ABC News. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, looking into this, Eichner's the son of a current Leon County Sheriff's deputy, according to Sheriff Walter McNeil. He had access to one of the mother's personal weapons, which was one of the weapons found on the scene, the sheriff said. It appeared Eichner had a handgun and a shotgun weapon. From what I heard, she's retired police, and you could buy your weapons back. It's like what I've been hearing on the ground news here in Florida. Suspect's mother has been a deputy with the department for more than 18 years, and her service to this community has been exceptional, McNeil said. The suspect was also a long-standing member of Leon County Sheriff's Office Youth Advisory Council. Looking into, let's see what else they have. He was engaged in a number of training programs that we have. I think not a surprise to us that he had access to weapons. Police have now identified 2 people killed, but they were not students. Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare has received 6 patients, all in fair condition. I'm just glad it wasn't too many people that died. You know, school shootings are just fucking scary. I know, like, we talk about this, like, you're a mother, like.
Yeah.
Because your kids are in college age, right?
So yes, I have my daughter's in the Navy. She's 21. And then I have a 17-year-old senior. So he's going to graduate in May, towards the end of May.
Yeah.
So it is scary. Like, you know, these things are happening, and, you know, even though like my son is almost out of the school system, he's planning to go to college. I'm in college, you know, this could affect, you know, school shooting could affect anybody really, you know, young and old. Is not just, you know, young kids. It's, you know, a bunch of people go to colleges, not just kids. So it could affect really anybody. What's really scary, like, to me, is that this was the son of a sheriff deputy, right? And it's like, where do you go wrong that, like, you're in law enforcement and you can't see those signs, like, in your own kid? Like I don't know, it just blows my mind, because, like, me as a parent, I can clearly see when something's wrong with my kid. Maybe the parents didn't have a strong relationship with their son. I just don't understand how this could have happened under the nose of someone who's in law enforcement. You know, doesn't that blow you kind of away?
It does, but another thing too is, you know, maybe it's just because, like I said, like, my nose is a little closer to home on this one. But apparently this guy, you know, going with what you said, like, no parent wants their child to be like a murderer or or just anything that's just truly, like, low class human. And, you know, certain things, but what you're not seeing on these big news stations, what you're seeing on the other stuff is, like, the dude was like total, like, pro Palestine, and they kind of wiped it off really fast. But when he deleted his X account, and he had, like, a whole thing right before he did it that I was able to catch before they took his X and all his accounts off. But they had a bunch of stuff, so it's like, you know, how could you not tell? And a lot of nuance to the whole thing, which is really important.
Yeah.
And it just comes down more to, like, you know, it's just a mental illness. You know, whether it just be the dude just pure evil, you know, going to a place, like an institution, or learning, or it's, you know, the dude's just mentally ill, because he's just following, you know, what other people are telling him to do.
I wonder where this indoctrination is coming from, though, because, like, where are they getting this? Do you think it's like TikTok, or, like, are they? I don't know. Are they surrounding themselves in some type of like echo chamber? Because I'm really shocked. I heard today this they were doing this conference. I guess it was like some Black Lives Matter people, and there was a bunch of them. There's like 10 or 15 of these people, and they were all still running the narrative that Kyle Rittenhouse had killed like 3 Black people in Kenosha, and that, I mean, clearly that's been completely debunked. Yeah, but the thing is that it's been completely debunked. Like, we know exactly what happened. There was a trial, but people are still perpetuating that today, passing and spreading that lie.
It's stupid, you know. And I think these people, I truly believe these people want to only live in their echo chamber. And
yeah, and
like,
so I mean,
tribalism. You know, you can tell them the facts are one thing, but they'll just nope, not gonna listen to it. Like,
yeah, it just blows me away because it's still like the whole Palestine thing. Like the people that have been deported, that were on college campuses that were pro Hamas and you know, pro terrorism, that they're still trying to say that they're innocent people when they clearly weren't. You know, it's just they really are surrounded in these little echo chambers, and they're so radicalized that they'll do something so horrible as you know, shoot up their school to try to make a point, and you know, take the lives and ruin the lives of you know, countless people. It's not, I mean, at this point you'd have to know, like, even after the Black Lives Matter riots that happened all over the country, did anything good come out of any of it? Did any legislation change? Did anything change or positive come out of any of those things? Any of the school shootings, like with the manifesto, like the Tennessee shooter that shot up a preschool or whatever, her manifesto that she wrote that they didn't want to release, and they finally ended up releasing like little bits and pieces of it. Did anything change with this revelation, this epiphany that they had to do this school shooting? Did anything change? Absolutely nothing has changed. So why do they keep doing these acts of violence when it doesn't fucking work? You know, it doesn't, like, I just don't know. It's like the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. Like, what are these people planning to accomplish?
These people are truly just mentally retarded. Like,
yeah,
their just level of like competence is just not there, and they're just trash. It's pathetic. You know, I've seen this all the time. You know, we see this all the time. You could have, like, you know, the Parkland shooters, the Columbine. Those people are just weird. They wanted to be notorious, but these people, like, what, they'll make something for themselves, and then they won't, or like a manifesto, as you said, and then it'll get hidden. It won't get released. Why doesn't it get released? Oh, because it'll make someone else look bad because it follows them, you know. But then even if you look at this kid, like I'm sure you guys can find a photo of him at some point, but if you find a photo of him, they all look the same. Like, they all look like socially retarded autistic kids. Nothing wrong with being autistic, but they always look the same. And then but these are the same people, like, you know, whether it be the families and like the friends, or them, you know, trying to stick together, not acknowledging that there's a mental health problem. Like, when you have the idea that you want to take someone else's life completely randomly, like just do a mass murder, random, like, there's no way that that's okay. Something is literally not right. Like, it's not sitting right. You know, whether it's
I had heard something where it's like every one of these people that have done a mass shooting have all been on like medications and stuff. So I feel like a lot of them are getting mental health treatment, but like, it's clearly not working, you know? Like, how are you going to have people on these medications and then have all of them turn up and do, you know, it doesn't compute. Like, clearly something's not working, and there's a giant disconnect, and then they want to blame the guns when it's not the guns, it's the people.
Oh, here's the guy. Like, even looks like he would be like, I don't know why, but
That is a really creepy smile.
yeah. A face only a mother can love.
Yeah, pretty much. Well,
And
at least the bonus is that he's not dead and he's gonna actually have to be held accountable for his actions. Most of the time these people take the easy way out or they get killed on sight and they never get to face justice. Like, it would be a good thing for this person to have to live with what they did.
yeah, here's the thing. Like last night, it had been like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was watching YouTube videos, and it pulled up on the algorithm. Like I just did drag search, and I don't know why, because it's not my algorithm for it to be on there. But it was like what happens to like all the school shooters, and like it went through like a whole list of like the school shooters, their names, their photo, what they did, their victims, and like what happened to them in jail. And like half of them end up literally mysteriously dying in prison, and
Oh, really?
nobody, and like the police and none of the lawyers, none of them will even like blink an eye or try to do like a true like, oh, what happened? Because like fuck.
Do you think that
I mean,
it's that
truly,
they
you get the worst. Being a school shooter is the worst thing you can be, other than like a baby killer and like pedo.
do you think that when they like get to jail and they actually, maybe, I don't know if they get therapy or they put them on their medication where they're on their because I think a lot of the times is that they'll start taking a medication. A lot of these medications are cumulative. They're not just you don't just take them and they make you feel better. It takes a long time for them to make you feel better, like a month or 3 months. Like after 3 months you start feeling like a little bit more level-headed. So, and then if they stop taking their medication abruptly and they're, on and off, it could cause other symptoms or whatnot. But you think when they're in jail that if they're constantly on their medication and maybe they're getting some kind of therapy and they start realizing what they did, a lot of these people find God in prison, and so if they start having that clarity, that realization of what they did, and they start feeling guilty about it, do you think that would cause them to,
Have
try to
remorse.
self-exit or, yeah, like feel bad
Um,
for what they did?
I mean, I don't know. I can't really put myself in the hot chair of like someone like that, but
Yeah.
there's like I said, there's always a mental problem. You'll see like take like when you were saying like, oh, the medication. Yeah, let's see a list of what medications people are taking. Like these brain medications or like all this stuff, it's trash. Like,
Yeah.
like when you start fucking with your hormones and like anti-anxiety pills, like it truly fucks with you. And especially when you're
Oh,
not
yeah.
consistent. Like you're a chick, you know, if at any point you ever took like birth control, like the pills, like if you're not consistent with it, like you go crazy. Like
Oh, yeah.
like it's insane. It's scary like how chicks like their personalities will just be like this. It'll be like a gamma ray reading out. It's like up and down, up and down, up and down. And
Yeah,
so
no, I
she was
can
on
attest to that 100%. Like I took birth control for a year, and like I couldn't stand myself. When you can't stand yourself, like you can't even stand the sound of your own voice, like you hate yourself, like you feel like I always felt mad and any little thing would trigger me, like the smallest little thing. And it's like I could kind of divide my realization, like my reality, to where I knew that like I needed to stop but I couldn't. So I don't know, it's weird. I don't think that's a good thing.
no, and it's fucking disgusting what this kid did. And
Yeah.
I don't see him if I don't think he's gonna get Gen Pop at all. Once he does go to Gen Pop. And if he does, he's gonna get his ass beat and they're gonna throw him into solitary at
Yeah.
Supermax. And then he definitely will want to do a self deletion, but he won't have a way to. And he's just gonna rot
Yeah.
away unless someone does a job for him. But going into the next subject, kind of going into mental health and some remarks.
Oh yeah.
and this is kind of what I was inferring earlier.
Oh yeah.
RFK seeks the environmental cause of autism. Scientists say it's not that simple. Really, if it wasn't, they would have figured it out. Let's see. Can we get that zoomed in a bit? Let's see. Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Wednesday declared that autism is a rapidly growing epidemic in the U.S. and vowed to identify the environmental toxins he says it is to blame. He noted that autism incidences in the U.S. has increased from 1 in 36 children in 2020 to 1 in 31 in 2022. That's on paper, that's not a lot, but when you have millions of people being born annually, and especially for 2 years, what top did it say? This is part of an unrelenting upward trend, Kenny told reporters during a news conference Wednesday at HHS. Overall, autism is increasing in prevalence at an alarming rate. Like one of my friends, she had sent me this and she was going crazy. Citing much lower rates in earlier decades, Kenny pushed back against the idea facts of better diagnosis, better recognition, or changing the diagnostic criteria. Adding the epidemic is real, he said. HHS is committed to investigating environmental causes of autism, calling it a preventable disease. Within the 2 to 3 weeks, the agency will announce a series of new studies to identify precisely what the environmental toxins are that are causing autism. So, I don't think it's news to anyone that there is something going on in the States to, like this mental retardation. Like we've been talking about this, I even saw I think people are just to a certain extent, like true autism, like in this when he was talking today, he was like, oh, these people can't work, they can't even use the bathroom for themselves. There's a true mental retardation, and he references that, and people like these self-diagnosed people who would like do it as a trend or like, that's not true. I have a job. I have this. I'm like, well, the autism has definitely been increasing over the years.
Yeah.
It's one of the suicide in autistic boys is one of the highest, if not is the highest cause of death for them. Which suicide is, I think it is number 1 or number 2 the leading cause for men. On top of that, so when you have these people who are going to get like all angry, and they're truly pathetic. Like you get angry, like oh, I'm self-diagnosed autistic. I'm like, we're not talking about you. You're just dumb. Like I attacked on this, and then that's the thing. Our parents, like, you don't have a whole generation of just weird, retarded people like that, or like these are like pretend they're cats and like drink their own piss. Like small little bit amount of these people compared to it is now. But when I don't know. There's a lot to say.
No, and I think I've known people that have children that are autistic, right? And yes, it's a spectrum, right? So you have some people that are very high functioning, maybe just a little socially awkward, but you have some people, like I had a girlfriend, I used to work with her, and she would always talk about her baby. Her baby was autistic, and he was like 16, 17 or something, and she would always say, my baby, and he's got, like sensory issues, like we can't have loud noises. When I take him to the mall, he has to have a pair of headphones on so that it, blocks the sound and all this and all that. Okay. But when she brought her baby in, her baby that gets extremely violent when stuff like this happens, dude, this kid was like 6'4", like 200 something pounds. This kid was massive. I was like, I would be terrified if this kid was running at me just pissed off for something that I have no control over. Maybe he doesn't like the sound of my voice and it triggers him, and it's, so it was just like, holy shit. Now I feel like anybody that could pick, right? I'd rather have my child not have this or have this disease or this condition. Of course, they would want their child to be able to live a perfectly normal, healthy life where they're, integrated, fine with society and whatnot. Not where, well, if I die first, who's going to take care of my kid? Because I have friends that have children that are nonverbal. They don't even know if their kid really realizes who they are, if that's their mom or their dad. There's no
Yeah,
like physical emotional connection. And I think that's what he's referring to, because
that's exactly what he's referring to.
the amount of people that are, okay, yeah, you can pay taxes, maybe you're just a little weird, that I don't think it's referring to them. Just like when people just choose to get offended over the word retard, we're not talking about the high functioning people that can have jobs and can speak and can understand. Most of the time, it's not to refer or to downgrade a mental condition or a
It's literally what it's called, the medical term.
yes, and it's not to poke fun at the actual retardation of people. It's just to kind of poke fun at the people that are choosing to act stupid. And I mean, the fact that people chose to get offended over the words that RFK Jr. said, they're missing the whole point of what he's trying to say. Like, if it comes out down the road that these companies, these either pharmaceutical, food companies, any companies that have been poisoning or have been putting things in our food or medication or anything that have been causing women to have birth defects, right? Because that would be a defect, either a defect that's at birth in the womb, or a defect that comes along later in the way because of the vaccinations that they give the child. Imagine if your child was born perfectly healthy and you injected them with vaccines, and those vaccines made your child nonverbal.
That's possible.
Like, those people are going to be put on a pike, dude. Like, do you think that the mounds of moms out there that now have to live with a child that is completely nonverbal, that will never have a life, do you think they're going to be happy with knowing that? Because I'm pretty sure that these pharmaceutical companies or anybody that's manufacturing these goods with all the dyes and the poison, the toxins, the preservatives, the chemicals, they all know what their stuff is doing. Just like the people knew that opioids were highly addictive and extremely difficult to get off of. There was another medication that they were giving women for nausea during pregnancy. It was eventually banned. It never got to the United States, but all in Europe, it was causing women to give birth to children with no limbs. So they could be born either with no arms, no legs, or no arms and no legs. So now you have just a baby and it's a torso, a torso with a head. And they tried really, really hard. The pharmaceutical company tried really, really, really hard to get this drug to come into the United States. And luckily I think it was one lawmaker that stopped it and was like, no, they're still using it in like third world countries like Africa and stuff. They're using this medication because they made a lot of money off of it. But they knew that their medications was causing severe birth defects in pregnant women, and it was for pregnant women. So they know what they're doing. They just want to make money. Their number one priority is profit. And when people find out that they've been doing this on purpose, and you could have had a perfectly healthy kid and they got damaged by the drugs that they told you were good for them, there's going to be hell to pay. There's going to be a freaking reckoning. Like, let me tell you.
There's not, though. Like, there should be, but there's not. And, if you look at other countries, it doesn't exist to a certain extent. You can go in like to the Middle East and there's a lot of autism retardation there, but that's because once Sharia law came back in, the amount of incest, and so that's just from that. But here, it is truly, it's not even close how much it is. But then you look at all these, whether it be from the vaccines that we can give to these kids. Not saying that it is or that it's not. Who's to say on that one?
Yeah.
But I always say, sugar, it's the number one thing to cause it. Any kind of birth defects. It would be cancer, mental, anything like that. It even says on American candies in Europe can cause birth defects. And then be like, oh, the doctor said I could drink 2 glasses of wine when I'm pregnant. That's stupid. You'll have people with alcoholic, fetal, whatever.
Or I can still have a cigarette while I'm pregnant.
Amount of sugar. There's just an insane amount of stuff that could be causing it. And there's no accountability, whether it be from what the parents are given to the kids, or what the mothers are ingesting while pregnant, what the parents
Mm-hmm.
are giving to the kids, and what the kids growing up raising or ingesting themselves. There's definitely
Yeah.
there's something going on to
Mm-hmm.
where it can be acknowledged, and then you'll have these at the same time as this, they'll be like, oh, um, just hand in hand. I'm not going to say it's 100%, but they'll be like, oh, they'll be like pro-choice. Cool, perfect. Then if you look at it, they're like, oh, but we don't want to acknowledge this. Like, if there's something that we could be doing, no
Mm-hmm.
accountability. You can't have
Yeah.
one and both at the same time. And it's
That's
like,
very true.
acknowledge it, fix it. Why not? And it's like, oh, because I feel bad, my poor feelings. Like, the only reason you don't see these people is because these people are inside the house all the time. Like, you're talking about your friend. One of my friends
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with, I didn't know that she had this one brother at all for like 8 years. And he had his own room, and he's a big dude, like 6'2", 240, and they couldn't even afford a caretaker. And then the mom used to take care of him before she passed away, but like he would eat his own feces and like smear it all over the walls, couldn't talk. They had to like put him in a chair because he would bang his head through glass windows and walls and doors all the time and against the floor, to either knock himself out or like make himself concussed. Like he couldn't
Wow.
function. Like it was terrifying. And this is the stuff that we're talking about, and then I just get annoyed when you have people that are just like, oh yeah, no, I'm autistic because, this and that. I'm like, cool, perfect. It doesn't matter. We're not talking about you. We're talking about people who actually can't have a job, who can't function in society, who need help. If we can help
Yeah.
future generations, future children not become that, and helps them have a good life, successful life, what's there to be against that? Why would you not want to
Yeah.
help future kids have a good life?
Yeah.
Like a life worth
Well,
living?
that's the thing. They're missing the point by choosing to get offended and like you said, we're not talking about them. Like wouldn't
But
they
it's always
want
about them. It's
it
always
it
talking
is.
about them.
Well, they're
Me,
very
me, me, me.
selfish,
Oh,
It's
extremely.
like wouldn't you want, like, again, if you had the choice of having a child that was autistic and not autistic and seeing them flourish and thrive, like that's the dream of any parent, right? To see your kids thrive. And they can't because they can't even speak. Like, what would you choose? You would choose to have a child that's functioning, right? Like,
Yeah.
that can
You
flourish.
recommend
And so,
society can keep your geno going. You can have their own family, can love something to,
yeah,
extended family. It's what we are made to do. Our survival.
exactly.
It's our primordial
Like,
instinct is to procreate and have families. And
yeah.
love.
So why not look into research to try to make sure that our species, as a human species, that we're going to thrive in future generations? Because I mean, it is alarming that it's growing, the population of those that are born with autism. And the thing is that you don't know if you're born with autism.
Yeah.
They don't know. It's something that you start
It's not like
noticing
if you have like
signs.
Downs or if you're born like without a limb or something, or you just know
Yes.
right away whether
So
pregnant or not pregnant.
that's why there's no telling if this is something that happens in the womb or if it's something that happens after you're born, because
Could be a mix of
like
everything.
it could be, but you're either born with it or you're not. You see what I'm saying? You're either
No, I know exactly.
it's either in your genes, in your DNA, which is something that they would be able to test for, or it's something that is contracted or is developed after birth. That there's got to be certain triggers that cause this condition to form. So it's not just it's either a light switch got turned off after you were born and you just were selected to be this way, or you were already made that way and you were born that way. So I mean, definitely, if there's anything contributing factors that are contributing to people developing autism after birth when they were perfectly healthy before birth, I mean, that's something that's worth investigating and trying to find out and trying to prevent.
Yeah, and so you'll have like these other people. I was watching this video. This woman was saying like, "Oh, it's like I'm this." The lady was like 52 years old. You know, like you can tell she was like socially weird, but not like Asperger's weird. Just kind of like the annoying person at the bar weird. Which like, yeah, I was like diagnosed autistic. The only reason we, because like is more autistic is because like now we have better ways to find it. It's like, no, you're just weird. You're not autistic. You look at these parents who do have this study is focused on, they will agree that they wouldn't want someone else to be born with that life, and they wouldn't want other parents to have that life. These other people, they're just a bunch of weirdos, are just miserable because they're weird, and they don't want to acknowledge it. And if they acknowledge it, that just fortifies the fact that they don't like themselves.
Well, they have like Munchausen syndrome.
Huh?
They just want attention. They have that Munchausen syndrome, like where they just want attention. They just want attention. They want to make it about them. I could say I'm autistic right now. Like, there's what am I going to show you? Like, okay, I'm autistic. Okay, I'm socially awkward, and I have OCD. Like, so they do it just to get attention. Yeah, and it's like they that's really all they want, because they want to be special. Yes, exactly. They have nothing
interesting
to them.
They have to make this their interest.
Yes, and try to turn everything into them, and that's it.
It's like the septum piercing idea theory. Have you heard of that?
Look at me.
It's like that. Yeah, like people have septum piercings turn their traumas into their personalities.
Oh my God, my daughter has a septum piercing.
Well, hopefully she has no traumas. But let's go on to the next thing. And y'all said,
this is another spicy one.
Pop up. Is it popping up on yours yet?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, it's not on mine. Okay, there's a delay. Let me see if I can pull it up on my computer right quick at the same time. Yeah, I'm over in Ormond Beach right now. Yeah, we have a hurricane.
Oh, nice.
No, we don't.
Alrighty.
Get on yours. You read it, since this is taking forever to pull up on my tablet.
Yeah. So we're looking at the voucher update for Texas. So the Texas House approves voucher proposal, and so let's see. In another marathon effort that ended early Thursday, the Texas House debated and approved Senate Bill 2, which would create 1 billion private school voucher program, one of the marquee education proposals this legislative season. The House vote was the vouchers bill's biggest hurdle and marked the first official test of whether Governor Greg Abbott and his allies built enough support in the lower chamber. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Let's see. So the Texas House gave initial approval to its priority school voucher legislation early Thursday, marking an end to years of resistance at the lower chamber to proposals that would use taxpayer dollars for private schooling. Senate Bill 2 passed 85 to 63, largely along party lines. The bill would provide $1 billion for families to access roughly $10,000 per student from Education Savings Account, a form of voucher program allowing roughly 79% of Texas students to be eligible. Only one amendment was added to the bill by its author, Rep. Brad Buckley, which provided only minor adjustments. So I want to say what people are not necessarily upset, but like part of this bill would give kind of like more like school choice. Like it would give students, like poor students and disabled students, a chance to kind of pick their schools if they want to go like homeschool, if they want to go to a private school, it allocates a certain amount per student, and I think it's supposed to help around 100,000 students, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with this. Like, during the civil rights, even you can even tie it into this at a certain point. But maybe I'm just silly and I did enough mental gymnastics to correlate this. But we try to like stop the segregation for everything. So we integrate blacks and whites through everything. Because before, like that, you could just kind of pick your school unless you were just, if you're just black. Then it was just like, this is where you're going. It's all set out. If a student wants to go to one school, there shouldn't be a reason. If they have a valid way to get to that school, if they're in a program, I know a lot of, down here, when I was in high school, you could choose the high school that you wanted to go to if you were in like an educational program. So like, you had like straight A's and like good GPAs. Like, I don't want to go to this school. I want to go out here on the coast. It's easier. But it looks like what does it says? $1 billion of private school voucher. The House bill for HB2, $7.7 billion public school funding. That's great. SB2 creates education savings accounts providing over $10,000 annually for private school tuition, prioritizing low-income students and those with disabilities. Oh no. It's like, unless you're a professional victim, you cannot get help. Like it's an oxymoron with these people.
I don't know, the
raises
reality.
Teachers' salaries, improves special education funding. Let's see. The opposition from the Democrats proposed over 40 amendments, including a failed attempt by James Tellerico to put vouchers to a statewide vote, arguing vouchers divert public school funds. Okay. To an extent, I know that they're doing 40 amendments for this.
They wanted.
You can. Yeah.
But there was only one amendment passed.
I wonder what all the other ones were for. Texas Capitol chanting "Fund our schools" and not no to the vouchers. If the thing is just going to you, what it's like? This is like, you ever hear these stories where you have a mother who takes care of her kids, and then she goes to the baby daddy, and they're separated. It's like, oh, I need money for food, and so the dad will go spend like $500 and get like 2 months worth of for the kid in the household and like the mother, and then 2 months of food, and then like the mother then starts complaining like, oh, what a fucking bum ass dad, blah 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 blah. Meanwhile, because instead of buying like one expensive steak, he got 4 normal price steaks. Like with how the money was spent. And it's like, if you're getting good money, the teachers are getting raises, you're having special education needs go up, because that's a huge thing. Huge thing is the funding for that in schools. Or the line. Then it says vouchers may reduce public school funding by drawing students away. Nah, I don't see that one bit. It's still going to be
well. So here's my two issues with it. So being in Texas, right? We just passed a bill for Texas education, that raised our taxes. So first off, who's going to pay for this money? Like, we're at a surplus. Like, Texas has a huge surplus that the Texas Congress has just sat on. And we've been seeing, like, there's one congressman that keeps posting, I don't remember what his name is, but he keeps posting like all the stuff that's not being done in the Texas House. So there's that one concern. So
like what? Is anything in specific, or just know he's
so the Texas government has been infiltrated by Democrats. So far they've refused to vote on voting to lower taxes for Americans in Texas, for Texans. They refused to vote on anything serious since the year started. There's been nothing big that has passed through the House, except for like some dumb bullshit like honoring Beyonce and yeah, like they haven't done fuck all in the time that, you know, the year started since Trump got elected. They've taken more vacations than anything because even though the House is allegedly Republican, there's a Democrat majority and the Democrats have been running everything. So they have done absolutely nothing except we've already been raised taxes for, and it was a bill that I personally voted no on. But they did raise our taxes and it was like 4 cents for every blah, 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 blah thousand. But like, if you really think about it, that was a lot of money that they're going to be taxing us for schools. So now they're going to pass another bill for school vouchers, which we had just voted no on school vouchers last year because they were trying to stick a bunch of bullshit into the bill. And I was telling Brian, our producer, about it before you came on earlier, but they were trying to tack on a bunch of bullshit to this voucher bill that was going to give vouchers to illegal aliens as well. And we're just like, fuck no. It's, yeah, like WTX says, it's all coming from property taxes. They're going to fuck us over again with these. And the second huge issue that I have with this, okay, is that when they pass this bill for school vouchers, it's going to expand the bureaucracy. So there's going to be 43 more open positions. Okay, so that's going to expand Texas government even more than it already is, with 43 additional bureaucrats that we probably don't need. We already have enough. So when this bill comes around, if we get to vote on it, I'm going to vote no, because it's deceptive, right? It makes you think, oh yeah, school choice, it's great. Oh yeah, give it to blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, that funding is great for poor people and blah 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 blah. But no, they're doing it with a hidden agenda that's going to fuck us over in the end. It's going to tax us more. It's going to fuck us over. And I'm just like, no. The schools have gotten way too luxurious with failed grade tests. Yeah, and to top it all off, the schools are doing terribly. Kids are coming out more retarded out of schools than ever. I just feel like, why are the schools going to get more money if there is no progress being made? And it's always the administrators that get all this money that comes, all this new funding and shit. It goes down into the administrators, and the teachers don't get paid more. So I think with a lot of stuff, like every fucking department and everything needs a Doge to come in and cut the administrators, cut the bureaucrats, cut the extra fucking people. There's no reason why, like our local high school. That's exactly they need more. They need more, like in the schools. Like for example, my son's high school. Okay. My son's high school has 10 fucking principals, not even assistant principals, not even vice principals. They have 10 motherfucking principals. And whenever you go down there, not one of those motherfuckers is available. Oh, you have to make an appointment. There's no one here. Why the fuck is there 10 of you then? Every single time I've had an issue and I need to go down to the school and talk to a principal, there's never anybody to talk to. Why? But these people have gotten out of control with paying themselves and enriching themselves. But the smaller people down at the bottom, the teachers that probably should get paid more because they're dealing with all these horrible kids, are not getting paid. So everything needs to be cut. I don't know. It is a pretty big high school. It's a small town, but it's a pretty big high school. There is 2 big high schools, and there's a few private schools. Because
I know my graduating class was 1,300 or 1,400.
Yeah, no, it's nowhere. It's nowhere near there. No, it's nowhere near there. It's probably like, I don't know. I think that the graduating class last, or at least a few years ago, was probably like 300 students, maybe. It's not. You don't need 10 principals for that.
You can get away with. You don't even need an assistant principal. You just need one principal.
Yeah, you don't need all that. It's terrible. It's really terrible. But it just goes to show these people are going to pay themselves first. They're greedy. They take advantage of the system, and it needs to be restructured where the kids are actually benefiting and not the administrators. The teachers should be getting paid more. The teachers should be getting paid more than having 20 different administrators that don't do shit.
and yet it's being debated to see if it's even going to go through. That makes no
Exactly.
sense. But here's a problem with, well, I guess the left. They're always just pro big government rather than small.
Yes.
And when you have it like this, they're always in uproar when they're like got rid of like Department of Education. Nobody wants education to go like down, like at all. Like you'd have to be
Mm-mm.
asinine to even have that idea. But the fact of
Yeah.
the matter is, it's more of being in education now. It's not about the teachers, it's not the students. It's more administrative and like pencil pushers. That's where the money's going.
Exactly.
10 principals for, you said a class or a school of 300?
Well, no.
do not
The
need that.
school doesn't have 300. That was like the graduating class. I think
Oh, okay.
was like
Well, even
300.
if you multiply that by 4, that's 1,200 right there. You still don't need 10 principals for that. That's asinine.
No. Yeah, it's really ridiculous. I was really shocked when I found it out because I had a major issue with my kid. I think it was like last year or something, and I had to go down there and take care of something. And I was blown away when I found out how many freaking principals there were, and that I could still not get a hold of any one of them. So I don't know. Like I said, if this bill for school vouchers gets put up to vote again, I'm going to vote no, because the one major thing that comes out of it is that it expands the Texas government even more, and we don't need any more expansion of government. Like our government is already big enough. There's already too much in there. So they can wrap a good thing, and have hidden intention, a hidden agenda underneath, and that's a big no for me.
So this is almost like, hey, have some free whiskey, but then you're gonna have a really bad hangover after that.
Yeah.
That's the only way I know it's a really bad analogy on this one, but so I was like, if you're raising the teachers' salaries, that's good. For special education, that's good. But I mean, I don't know.
It's like saying
I'm not a
it's like
parent.
saying
I don't know what I would say.
it's like saying, hey, we're going to pay the teachers more and we're going to give all this money for kids, but we're getting a raise too. It's kind of like that, because by them expanding the government, this is like an extra assistant for someone. This is less of a workload for someone, because that's what the bureaucrats do. It's like delegating. It's like if you get like a personal assistant that you can delegate your job to. This is what the bureaucrats do. And so, yeah, if you all of a sudden get 43 extra assistants to do your job for you, that means you get to do less. It's almost like getting a raise. Like you're going to get the same pay, now less work. So they're basically giving themselves a raise, for fuck all, So no, I'd say that's a big no. Yeah, we can wait and see how things go, but no. No, they're hiding a hidden agenda in it, and I don't know why, but every time Greg Abbott pushes school vouchers, I'm like, fuck you, dude, no. Like, no, there's always something behind it. I just don't think that he's really looking out for Texans, because I don't know. I'm not a fan of his. Mr. Hot Wheels can ride right off when it's fucking ramp in his fucking Hot Wheels.
Maybe he wants to go visit schools. Maybe he wants to extend his education.
He could go up to the moon. He could go up to the moon with fucking Katy Perry.
Kiss the ground when he comes back. But hey, let's jump into the next thing that we got, because you guys said we weren't going to talk about it, but we're going to go straight into X. No, we're not going to talk about this ever again after this.
These are all topics that I'm super spicy about.
For real. Little spicy lady over here. Senator Chris Van Hollen has traveled to El Salvador to advocate for the release of Kilmer Abrigo Garcia. I was wrong about this one. Fuck this guy.
Yeah, see, I told you. I
was just wrong about something. Deported U.S. despite Supreme Court ruling that his removal was illegal. Efforts to meet with Garcia have been unsuccessful, and while there are allegations of his gang affiliation, the court found no sufficient evidence to support these claims. that he'll insist on adhering to legal rulings and human rights. All right, cool. But what's going on is he was not allowed to go visit, apparently. Did you see anything about that?
Of course.
Okay.
So yeah, so this he got through.
He did. Let's take a look.
Oh my goodness, these people are so fucking ridiculous.
Deco Luca, El Salvador. Senator Holland was stopped by armed guards at a military checkpoint on Thursday and turned away less than 2 miles from a notorious prison where a Maryland father who was wrongly deported from the U.S. is being held. It was the second day in a row the Maryland Democrat has refused entry into the prison, even though the last 2 GOP House members were given a tour of the facility just 2 days earlier. Well, this wasn't a thing just 2 or 3 days earlier, was it? Was following Senator. Yesterday was following the senator's motorcade. When it was stopped, the checkpoint appeared to be set up specifically to keep him from the prison. Ooh, the plot thickens. Hope to tour the prison meeting. You cannot tour that prison. This isn't like a.
No.
This isn't prison. This is just a city with walls with felons.
He did violate the Logan Act. What a dipshit.
Dun, dun, dun. And the plot thickens. But on top of that, too, like even the president of El Salvador says, "No, we're not giving him back." Like,
no.
That's the big thing on that as well. It's like I didn't realize he was so young. Like the guy's like our age.
Yeah.
Like, he's very young, but he was even saying, he's like, no, you want us, we were the most dangerous country, and now we're the safest, and you want to take a terrorist that I know is a terrorist and put him back on the streets? Say, no way, Jose, we're not going to do that. And
no, and the
president
thing
can't
is, let's see.
Let's see. But apparently he did. That's both of them right there, not in prison. So there is a lot of stuff coming around right now. So I told you this was gonna be a spicy one. So Pam Bondi says he's bad, and so far she's been, of her words and actions, and what's the word? Transparency. So
yeah, I don't know. Do you think that's real? Did he really? Because they turned him away from the prison. So, but this picture shows. I mean, he doesn't look like he's in prison. He's wearing a. Is it possible that this picture has been either doctored, that it could have been taken before he got deported? Because this has been going on. Like it's. I don't know.
I think they might have had something where he could have been like temporarily released, like with guards, and then when he came stateside, or when he went to Ecuador, from stateside, that the senator like might have taken his clothes with him. So for the photo op wearing his own clothes, that could be a thing as well. So I was like, oh, if we go there, if in case I do, speak to his wife, because obviously, they're going to be, he wants to work with her. I'll be on his side for it. So that could be something, if I could just.
I just don't know. That it just seems like really suspicious that he got turned away and denied, but all of a sudden he's sitting there and it looked like in a luxury like restaurant, or maybe a hotel restaurant or something, and this guy's all cleaned up and looking all spiffy and clean, and they're enjoying like a little, was it like a little wine or something? It just doesn't seem like real.
Yeah, that looks like something that would be considered nice for over there. You looking it up?
I don't know. I am. I'm like, this is, if it's true, I mean, then okay.
Oh,
So it says, yes, Maryland
true.
Senator Chris Van Hollen traveled to El Salvador to push for the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a Maryland resident who's mistakenly blah, 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 blah. Van Hollen was denied a meeting or phone call during his visit. Who could not secure access, who's held in Tourism Climate Center. Okay, well, it doesn't say that he actually met with him, though. He was denied a meeting or a phone call by the president on April 16, 2025. Van Hollen met with Ulloa and U.S. Embassy officials but could not secure access to Abrego Garcia, who is held in the Terrorism Confinement Center. Van Hollen vowed to continue advocating blah, blah, blah for his return. So at what point did he get to go see him?
Well, I guess at some point today. No, Brian.
But didn't he return already? Didn't he return from El Salvador?
Well, he was turned around earlier this morning or today. And then that just came out. So obviously it's going to be within the past maybe 12 hours, if not less. Oh, it makes us think, doesn't it? Could be doctored. He could have just set up. You know,
I don't know. I think it's doctored.
I don't think so. Because if he's in, what's it called? If you're in government, you know, whether you're like a sitting senator, Congress, president, judge, anything like that of political power, I'm pretty sure you cannot stay and post blatant lies or false allegations knowing that they are. Or you cannot block people.
So that was just updated, and what does it say? Does it say that he did meet with them?
9:30. This was half an hour ago. I don't know. A lot is thickening.
I don't know.
Like, he could be going there just to, you know, maybe he has an idea that he wants to run for something higher, make himself more notorious, kind of get underneath the spotlight, because he's like, oh, this is my chance. You know, coming from Maryland. Maybe he really does truly feel for the application, but, you know, as someone in power, I'd highly doubt it.
Okay. So the Associated Press reported, but it says the claim conflicts with multiple other sources. This suggests the initial denials of access were accurate for April 16, but he was secured a meeting on the 17th. Stems from the timing of reports. So if he really did secure a meeting, then yeah, he completely violated the Logan Act. So he, as a senator, cannot go to another country and try to change international or champion international law changes or anything along that realm, international policy. He cannot do that as a U.S. senator. That is the job of the president. And from what I've read, there's only been 2 people that were ever charged under the Logan Act. And like, what the who do these people think they are? Like, first and foremost, this is the job of the fucking president. Like, who do you think you are? Like, going to another country and demanding that they release a fucking criminal. I think that they should leave this senator. This senator should get dumped in that prison, and he could be butt buddies with Abrego. Like, you all could be in the same cell together and have a good life.
If in fact that he did, we'll definitely be seeing this on press briefing tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
We'll definitely see that. So they can, maybe it's a long game. He knows that they can do this, and they can be using something up their sleeve to be like, oh, gotcha, bitch, to the current administration. Or maybe he just doesn't care, is going to do it, and just wants to do it and do it like the virtuous as I. Look at what I did, look what I'm going to accomplish, and then get full support for everyone that's, supporting or not supporting any kind of illegal.
Yeah, because I'm looking at this picture right now. This motherfucker looks clean. He's got a nice hat on, a nice shirt on, a nice haircut. He's got a nice lineup on his beard. Like, no. Oh man, dude, that just makes me so mad. I'm just gonna be pissed off the rest of the day. Like, fuck this guy. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, it's really just, it blows my mind. Like, this is what they want. Like, bring this motherfucker into your home so he could beat your ass too, just like he beat up his wife,
I wonder what the story with that is. If they got an argument and then she like started hitting him and he started like defending himself, and then because he's the dude, he got arrested.
Well, supposedly he punched her in the eye, like he punched her in the face, and he had her eye bleeding. He scratched her in the eye too. I don't know, like, dude, this no, man. Whoever advocates for this piece of shit, they need to take him into their home and live with them and support his fat ass. And I just the amount of people that are cheering for this fucking dude just blows my mind. Like, you know what? You could have a George Floyd in your home, like a fentanyl, like crack addicted motherfucker, like going into your home and just tearing all your shit up and pistol whipping you and all kinds of fun stuff. Like, only like a pillar of virtue. I mean, he might knock you up too. He might just get a crack at you while you're sleeping. Yeah, well, I'm sure he just doesn't stoop to pistol whipping pregnant women. He'll get a crack at anybody. Like, it's just they don't understand that these people are dangerous, and they want to advocate for the wrong. But you know what? Let us not actually correct dumbass people and their mistakes. Let them keep digging their hole deeper and fucking themselves up more, because the last time I saw, the Democrats were at a all-time low for an approval rating. Keep doing it, man. Keep doing it, because you guys are fucking stupid. And like, I just self-destruct. Like, keep doing it. Have fun as you implode. Like, I don't know what else to say.
No, you always got the good stuff to say, and I really think we're gonna keep hearing about this. This is going to be something. I told you, like I said on Tuesday, I really do think that this is going to go somewhere. Annoying as much, but it's definitely going to go somewhere. I do think if anything were to happen, or be addressed if he did break the Logan Act, it'll be tomorrow. Because Pam Bondi's no way that she's going to let fucking heat not be recognized. She's not going to let.
I don't know, because I mean, like, really and truly, what have we seen? Have we seen any prosecutions? Have we seen any, like, okay, they've said that there's going to be a few investigations, but have we seen anything, really? Like, no. So I'm going to believe it when I see it. Just because
it's not talked about doesn't mean it's not happening.
I know. Maybe it's hard.
Just,
it's hard to be patient. I feel like nothing's going to get done, and these people are just going to keep getting away with all their bullshit.
It's just theater. That's all it is at the end of the day. Because this shouldn't even be, like, out of all the things going on, this shouldn't even be, like, one of the top things that's going on.
Yeah.
This is just what's currently on the market for drama.
That's true.
But want to get into cool nerdy stuff?
Yeah.
Cool nerdy stuff. That's how the strong on our solar system astrophysics team says observation of chemical compounds may be a tipping point in search for extraterrestrial life. A giant planet 124 light years from Earth has yielded the strongest evidence yet of that extra life might be thriving beyond our solar system, astronomers claim. Observations by the James Webb Telescope of a planet called K2-18b. We gotta come up with cooler names.
Yeah.
Zordon. Or,
Zordon.
or
Krypton.
Quartz and Cheerios, or supercharged orange juice, planet xylophone. I don't know.
I mean, we have Uranus.
Are the two compounds on Earth that appear to reveal a chemical fingerprint of two compounds that on Earth are only known to be produced by life. Detection of the chemicals dimethyl sulfide, DMS, and dimethyl disulfide, DMDS. What about dimethyltryptamine? If anyone knows that. Would not amount to proof of alien biological activity, but could bring the answer to the question of whether we are alone in the universe much closer. This seems cool because, 2 days ago, there was like a public forum for science, tech, and weapons. And the guy, I guess, who runs it for the secret weapon for the US was saying that we have technology that estimates distance and time. And he's just basically saying we can teleport now.
Yeah,
So
something
maybe.
like that.
I didn't get too much into it. I was just like, I got stuff to do. But it seemed really cool.
Something like we had the technology to bend time and space or something like that. And I'm just like, whoa. That's pretty damn cool.
Is that you just showing off your tattoos? Oh, hey. Everybody,
Huh?
so casual.
I am. I need to relax after all that last one. But what's cool? I wonder if I don't know, since all those chicks went up into space, I wonder if they left some kind of a cosmic queef or something up there.
The world's longest 11-minute queef.
That's what's being detected now, cosmic queef, This is very powerful. It's just such a transformative moment when they went up there,
World's largest dick for the
yes, they did. They did. A bunch of chicks wrote a huge dick into space,
Maybe that's what that cosmic sound was that Brr? It was just other lady aliens millions and billions of miles away. They went to go do a cosmic queef. And
maybe
so now,
that was their.
Let's send our cosmic queef out. So it'd
maybe that was their response.
Queef song, in South Park.
Yeah, there you go. It's they heard Katy Perry singing up there in space, and that was their response, that traveled and got picked up by the Hubble. What was it? The Hubble telescope?
No, it was
No, it wasn't the Hubble. Bezos. It was the. No. The James Webb Space Telescope is what detected the chemical signatures.
I don't know if it was that or it was those giant dishes.
I think that's what it said.
I don't think that works anymore.
The discovery on K2-18b, it was with the James Webb Space Telescope, and they detected the chemical signatures on the exoplanet. So it could have been. Yeah, no, the queef was definitely probably heard by Bezos. He probably felt it too. The power of it was just really intense.
Why his fiance on there.
Yeah, I mean, I bet he would have wanted to launch her up there and just have her disappear up there too. Who knows? I don't know. After the submarine thing, would you really want to? I don't know. That's why there was no
That was just a sad story altogether.
That's why there was no Mexicans in that.
What's wild is they're forcefully pressing this, we got these women up in space for 11 minutes. I'm they're not astronauts. Sure, that's cool that they went to space, but they've been sending people up to space casually for I don't know 2-3 years now. They have Virgin Atlantic. They have this guy doing it too on top of it. But it's more of a publicity stunt. Like, why not freaking SpaceX save people who were stranded in outer space and brought them safely back down? That's way
Well,
cooler.
they're saying that was just a PR stunt. They're saying it was a hoax. And if you actually see, like, supposedly the door only opens from the outside, right? Yeah. And Bezos had like a special key or something to unlock the capsule. But when he walks up, you could see the door open and close real quick because these
He's
bitches
like, no,
probably
no, no,
didn't
no,
know
no.
they weren't supposed to come out. And then you see the ones that come back from whatever
Other
what is it
launches.
the other launches, yeah, and the capsules are all burnt up. They're like crispy on the outside, but this one's all clean and pristine and perfect. There's a lot of things that don't make sense, like the little
And did you
flower that
see
Katy
how hard
Perry
it
had up
landed?
there. Yes, you
That would
saw
have broken
how hard it landed.
There was no way anything
No, it was staged. There's no
Warhammer
way. They're
Fest.
saying
Boosh.
Katy Perry had a little flower up there, and then when she came back down, like she still had the little flower in her hand. And they're saying that just the compression and the air not being air up there and all this stuff, that that's impossible that flower would have not wilted away and all this shit. I don't know. I can't say, but there's just too many inconsistencies with it. It's not true.
Yeah, I don't know too much about like the pressure on the inside and outside.
No, and then supposedly, okay, like I do hair for a living. Okay, they all had all their hair floating up in space, like with the zero gravity and shit. And then when they come down, all their hair is like perfect, not
I
one
was
strand out of
noticing
place.
that when they
And
were
I'm like,
ringing that bell
no,
vigorously, and I was like, wow, these women's hair are overly nice for this kind of mission. You look
no,
at
it's
any
not.
other true astronaut, they have
Yeah, no.
short bobs, little bun thing, very
That one
not
chick that was stuck in space in the International Space Station, she had curly hair, and her hair was just like an afro. It was so fuzzy and shit, because she's up there in zero gravity. And you're gonna tell me that when they came down, all their hair was perfect? It makes no damn sense. Like it's not gonna happen. Their hair would be tangled as fuck when they come down. There's no way. So that's my 2 cents.
maybe it was like not so much like a true outer space, but like one of like the end of the past the atmosphere, like where those like spy planes go, where it's just on the verge.
Like the stratosphere.
Yeah, like on something like 120,000 feet up or something, or like 110,000, something insane. So it's
Yeah.
right there, so you could say you're in outer space, but it's not like true.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so.
That's just, like,
I just think it was a bunch of bullshit. But like really and truly, if there's life on other planets, like kind of getting back to the point, I don't think anybody gives a fuck at this point.
We already got told that there were aliens. We got told
Yeah.
that, like, oh hey, there's spaceships. At the beginning of the year, we saw the alien spaceships everywhere. And it was just like,
Yeah.
oh okay. And
I
then we
just
saw, like,
I just
these
don't
giant drones, and I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like people are freaking out over this, like release the aliens, and it's just like I just don't think we care at this point. I think it would have to be something pretty dramatic, like we wake up and it's like Independence Day where there's a giant ship that's going to destroy everything. Like that might like, oh
think
shit,
that will.
But I just, there's aliens, and you know what? I'm sorry. I don't think anybody really cares. And unless we see like little green men like landing and wanting to talk to us and shit, where they're just showing us these fuzzy videos, or they're still not showing us concrete proof. Like we're not seeing we're not seeing bodies, we're not seeing we're not hearing communications from them, or I just feel like
bigger thing to this though. Like for
there
us in
could
the
be.
States, we're desensitized, right? Like high perception of the media, science fiction, video games, these kind of stories, media.
Mhm.
Like the input's just rapid. But now if you look at
Yeah.
other places, like across the globe, who are super religious, who the culture is just not changed for like millennia,
Yeah.
they find out, they would freak out. other countries.
Well, I feel it's kind of like the whole like the sightings of Loch Ness monster or Bigfoot or whatever. They're always like really fuzzy, or it's really crappy video, or that's how I feel like it is with the aliens and all that stuff. Like it's just until we see something that like really rocks the boat, we're not gonna care. So
Hey, don't rock the boat.
yeah.
But if there's no aliens, let's go to Caption This. How about that?
Let's do it.
Because this is factual proof. I think this one's brought to us by T-Bone. My boy.
That's Nancy Pelosi.
Which one?
Both of them. The Predator is like Nancy Pelosi.
I don't know. She kind of looks more like the one. Yeah, you're right.
Don't you dare say Jasmine. That's
Jasmine.
racist.
Who's Jasmine?
That Jasmine
Oh,
Crockett chick.
Oh. No. Jasmine would definitely be the alien on the left.
You think so?
Yeah. Better tone.
Oh, 2 Dems, 1 Trump.
I like that one.
Yeah, I like that one too. Oh. All right. Let's get some feedback, y'all. See what y'all come up with for this. Caption this. Find the aliens and you can have them. Huh. I don't know if I want to find the aliens.
I think
What
he
if they
was
have like the
talking about
whole...
illegal aliens.
Oh, I don't want those either. I'm thinking like an alien anal probe. Like, I don't want that either, though.
I knew you were going to say something about anal probing. Like,
I mean, that's what they're famous for, right?
come probe me, alien daddy.
The Apprentice to Catch a Predator edition. That's pretty good. Ah. All right.
Trump's like, Chris Hansen couldn't be here tonight.
What's that?
Trump's like, Chris Hansen couldn't be here tonight, so I'm filling it in.
Oh. Oh, man. I'm trying to think.
Mm-hmm. All right, so T-Bone right here says, okay, so this is Donald Trump in 2020 debate, Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton. Donald is roasting them and calling him old and senile. I made
He's
this.
like, you'd be in jail. He's telling him you'd be in jail. I'm the captain now. Hell yeah. Commander-in-chief now. I'm trying to think of something. I ain't got that much tonight. I think I already fried my brain from ranting so much earlier. Like they were all topics that I feel very passionate about, which I'm sure you can all clearly see. Yeah.
I didn't even see you
Maybe
drink any
little
wine or
bit.
beer.
Oh, I haven't had any wine or beer for a little over a month.
Ooh, congratulations. I'm proud of you.
Yes, because I'm on the carnivore diet.
How's it going?
I mean, it's going. You know, there's some days are harder than others, but oh, Vash just put one up. That's pretty funny. Oh, look at Brian's. Oh, this other one from Bash is pretty funny too. Predator. we hunt the most dangerous game. And then Trump, fake news. Fake news. There you go. That's a good one, T-Bone. They'll call it the Alien versus Predator bill.
Oh, that's right. They are called xenomorphs.
Yes. Oh man. I don't know. I'm at a blank, so I'm gonna sit this one out because I just can't think of anything funny. Because like like I don't know, this the whole artist that did all the alien stuff was like extremely perverted. So like if you look at some of his art, it's like very like sexually suggestive.
And who's art?
The guy that came up with the alien, like the
Oh, the
alien
xenomorph.
design. Yes, H.R. Geiger. Yeah, he was. Ooh. And the thing is that it's not like overtly, it's like at first glance it looks like something really bad, and then you kind of start looking at it, but it is. It kind of isn't, but it is, and you're just like, what am I looking at? And
I'm looking at
yeah. Yeah, look through a lot of his art. It's just like, whoa.
very suggestive.
Extremely, extremely. So, I mean, you could say the
Reminds me of
alien
Nine
is
Inch Nails.
huh?
Like some of the 9 Inch Nails artwork.
Yeah, I think I think he did a lot of collabs. But I mean, that could totally be Adam Schiff. Like the alien could be Adam Schiff. Like we keep calling him pencil neck. You know, he's got a big dildo head, watermelon head. I don't know. Which one would it be?
Adam Schiff has not gotten pussy in years.
I mean, why would he get pussy if he's just a giant pussy himself?
For real. Like just because you have one doesn't mean you can
I
have another.
agree. Yeah. I don't know, man. Just, he stays bent. Like he loves it. Watch, we're all gonna get swatted.
I found this one. That's some of the artwork. That's pretty suggestive.
Where did you put that?
Huh?
Where did you put it?
What do you mean where I put it? I just found it on the internet.
Oh, whatever it is that you found. Oh. Oh, okay, so who's gonna win this round?
I'm kind of going for let me see.
I like the two Dems, one Trump.
Yeah, I like that one.
There we go.
Yeah.
And you're like, I did. Well, there's my vote.
Yep, that's mine too.
All right, well, win-win chicken dinner. WTX, it's your time to win. Congratulations.
That's our boy.
Oh,
All right, Miss Dork, you ready to close it up?
ready to end the show.
All right, perfect. So, what stuck out to you the most? You're off on a rant today.
Yeah, I did. It's exhausting, but it felt good.
Get it off your chest.
Mm-hmm.
Good. No, but I didn't know all that stuff about the Texas stuff that you were talking about, so it's super interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they like talking about that stuff. I feel like the less informed people are, the better it is for Democrats because they can just talk them into anything, And like I said, they like to hide things that look good, but there's, nefariousness to it, lying underneath the surface of it. So you got to do a little digging sometimes, but yeah.
They can lie, pander,
Mm-hmm.
play on the virtuous part.
Yeah, they do. They do. It's terrible.
Yeah, I'm just bummed. Like I have friends that are at FSU right now, so I'm just glad they're safe.
Yeah.
It sucks, every time you have to see it, have to talk about it. That he's gonna die in prison, guaranteed.
I don't know. I lack a lot of empathy for people that commit horrible crimes. So, yeah, I don't.
I'm just glad he's alive.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad he's alive and he's going to get to live with his actions, the consequences of his actions, and his freedoms are going to be taken away. I just, I do think that there should be harsher punishments for stuff like that, opposed to, especially if this is this kid a minor? How old was he again? Was he 20, 21? Okay, so maybe he would qualify for the death penalty, but there's a lot of states that, they don't qualify for the death penalty. So they're going to live on our dime for the rest of their lives, getting free food, free healthcare, and it's just like, dude, that's not right. Especially something like this, right? He was caught red-handed. Like at this point, it's not like, oh, literally, you get a trial. No, everybody saw you. Like everybody saw you. We know it's you. There's no room for even a shadow of a doubt.
We still have to have it, but it's a case closed.
Well, yeah, but it's still like there's no evidence beyond, like, everybody saw him. So like even having a trial is kind of mute. Like I understand that there should be due diligence, but at the same time, like, dude, you were caught red-handed. You did this. The only thing that probably should be investigated if there was anybody else involved, and like if let's say the gun or whatever the guns that this kid had access to were stolen, not taken care of, the parents were negligent, whatever, then you could have investigations to how they got a hold of these things.
Well, the mom's getting in trouble.
Yeah, you should charge him,
Well, because she's a deputy.
Yeah, and yes, I feel bad for his mother, but at the same time, we're all accountable for our actions. And so we all make a series of choices, and sometimes those choices are not good decisions. So if you have a gun, you should be conscious of where you leave it, and maybe not always tell your kids where it is. Like,
he's 20. I don't at this point.
I don't know, like, but yeah, the son is already an adult. He needs to be held accountable for what he did, and but like really and truly, if there's no shadow of a doubt that this person committed this crime, I don't care if it was for mental illness. I don't care what it is. They should be executed. Like people that have mental health conditions that go through the system, oh, they're not competent to stand trial. Do you really want that person back out in society when they don't understand what the fuck they're doing and they're mentally incompetent? No. They should get treated with the same hand of justice that everybody else does, because regardless at the end of the day, whether they knew what they were doing or not, they did it. And to me, it's more dangerous to have someone out there that is unpredictable, that is not knowing what they're doing, capable of repeating that again in the future. Like these people should just, get yeeted real quick, save the taxpayers some money, move on.
I was thinking that dinner, the FSU is the Seminoles, so and then UF isn't too far from there, maybe a couple hour drive. The Seminoles, you scalp them. And I was like, what if, since it's Florida, what if you feed them to a gator? If it was in Texas, you could put them in a desert like in a desert box where there's just like a bunch of rattlesnakes. So he has like no option but to get bitten by a bunch of rattlesnakes continuously.
I don't know, man. I mean, we're not supposed to have cruel and unusual punishment. I think that
I don't think it's unusual. I think it's entertaining.
I mean, I would agree with you, but playing devil's advocate, like, I mean, I'm sure that a lot of people would have problems with that. I'd say just put him in a wood chipper, very, very slowly, feet first.
He'll bleed out. He'll bleed out too fast.
That's just me. I know it might be too fast, but you could give him like a shot of adrenaline beforehand, or you know, I don't know.
I like the alligator part. Or like a Komodo dragon. You just get like swallowed whole. Komodo dragon. Alrighty. Well, this was a fun one tonight.
Yeah, it sure was.
Alrighty, guys. Well, it's about that time we hit the old dusty trail. Glad you guys were here for it. This was a long one today for sure. Oh, wow.
Yeah. This is probably our longest one.
I think so. Yeah. Well, you know,
all right.
Thursday, so if you guys go out this weekend, please don't drink and drive. Be safe. And any other last minute thoughts you got?
Yep. Bye, y'all.
So I got to thinking, there's MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. MAGA, Make America Great Again. But what we really need to do is make America follow the Constitution again. Motherfucker. That sounded better in my head.